Who's a bad bird, Rodan? Who's a bad bird? Get it, Godzilla. Hello there. I'm Professor Vincent Shears. Giant monster fornication is something experimental scientists like myself have studied for years. Even so, after decades of research, there are still many mysteries surrounding giant monster fornication. Mysteries that researchers like myself are determined to find out. Questions have been left unanswered, like what drives these monsters to fornicate? Is it for breeding purposes or for pure carnal monster pleasure? Do they fornicate across different monster species or selectively among their own kind? These questions have been driving researchers like myself nuts for years now. Past evidence of these monsters banging each other is, to put quite simply, sparse. Nowhere in any monster movies dating back to the 1930s is there any video evidence of philandering monsters. Yet, the sheer existence of these giant monsters seem to suggest that they do in fact philander. When the original Godzilla movie released in 1954, Godzilla rose from the sea with no explanation of his spawning. The only backstory was that he was disturbed by hydrogen bomb testing. Was he disturbed, or was he turned on? Some scientists here at the Monster Sexuality Institute have hypothesized that Godzilla's atomic breath is actually his way of spraying his seed, considering he has no visible genitals in any Godzilla movie. Godzilla's sexuality eludes researchers to this day. Other researchers suggested that Godzilla was an asexual monster, which could prove disastrous to our funding from, well, I'm not at liberty to disclose who we get our funding from. But as I suggested in my controversial dissertation, Monsters Fucking in the Shadows, maybe these giant monsters just wanted some privacy while they went to town on each other in the crevices of some cave somewhere. Giant monster moth Mothra has often been linked as Godzilla's wife based on how they often fight, but usually compromise and end up working together. But do they fool around? And how would that work exactly? They're clearly two different monsters. Godzilla's adopted sons, Manila and Godzilla Jr., were just that, adopted. No evidence suggests at any point was there a pregnant, hormonal female Godzilla destroying cities. And the two junior monsters show no signs of Mothra DNA. Endless resources were poured into finding Godzilla and Mothra smushing, but no proof was found. In 1956's Rodan, the two Rodans depicted were seemingly life partners. One even suicided into a volcano after the other died. So obviously, the love was deep. But the question remains, did these big birds have sexual relations? At the time, we just didn't have video. The three-headed monster King Ghidorah sparked researchers' curiosity like no other monster had before. Scientists ran wild with theories to the point of obsession. Just what could those three heads and two tails do in a sexual capacity? The possibilities were endless, but still, no evidence was found. Dating back to the dawn of monster movies in 1933, King Kong kidnapped a human lady to the top of a skyscraper. That skyscraper was not so coincidentally shaped, like a giant dong. Was Kong compensating for people pussy he just couldn't have? Or could monsters and humans finally copulate? Our now banned research on giant monster reality ultimately determined this defied the laws of physics, much to our disappointment at the MSI. With the rise of the internet in the late 90s, early 2000s, videos of giant monsters fornicating began to appear in the form of giant monster porn. While there weren't nearly enough videos to collect any serious data, it was a breakthrough in monster fornication research. Me and my colleagues at the MSI were extremely excited. While the data was limited, we could finally pursue our passions and get to work. In today's new age, our experimental scientists at the MSI have discovered a new renaissance in the study of monster fornication. With the rapid development of artificial intelligence, me and my colleagues have been able to collect a heaping of video evidence of giant monsters fornicating to do what we will with.